Alright, ich willkomme euch zu dem neuen Unterricht und heute lernen wir doch Conjunctive 2. Was bedeutet Conjunctive 2? Wissen wir gleich. So today we'll be learning Conjunctive 2 and I welcome you all to the class. And what is the meaning of Conjunctive 2, or in German we call subjunctive, in English we call subjunctive 2. We'll understand in a moment. So subjunctive is basically when something is unreal. It's not real. You are just basically referring to an unreal situation to make a wish, to create a condition or regret. Yes, you could make unreal conditions and consequences. You could make wishes and regrets. You could make unreal comparisons. For example, I have no money, I do not buy BMW. Now you could make an unreal condition and a consequence. You could say, if I would have money, I would buy a BMW. Yes. There is Corona, we do not travel in the world. Now you say, if Corona is not there, we would travel the world. It's your own condition, unreal condition and consequence. If the earth is round. If the earth is flat, we would drop off the edge. Yes, you made your own unreal condition and consequence. The world has 195 countries. If the world is one country, I would not need a visa. You made your own unreal condition and your own consequence. Yes. Wishes and regrets. I had no choice. If I would only had got another choice. Yes, if I would only had got another choice, it's like just making a regret. I was so lazy, only if I would not have been so lazy. Yes, making basically a regret. They come on time. If they would only be late by a few minutes. You are making a wish. If they just get late by a little, I could be prepared or something. Yes. So we had not taken the deal. If only we would have just taken the deal. Yes, again a regret. I have had no girlfriend. If I would have had a girlfriend like Gigi Hadid. We are making a wish. So when something is in the past, it's like a regret. When something is in the present, it's like a wish. Yes. So like the last sentence, I've had no girlfriend. But now you say, if I would have just had a girlfriend like Gigi Hadid. So it's like, you could also say a wish. Yes. Okay, now unreal comparison. He is not the captain. He acts as if he would be captain. You're comparing it as if to the real situation. He's acting as if he's a captain. We have still not lost the game. They underestimate us as if we would lose the game. Yes. So you're comparing basically to the current situation. They understand, you're making a comparison as if they are treating us as if we lose the game. We do not have time to treat climate change. We act as if we would have so much time to treat climate change. Yes. So these are all unreal comparisons. Yes. So that's all what we could do. Yeah. And to do that, let's learn, what do we need to learn? We need to learn the helping verb to make subjunctive 2 or Conjunctive 2. Das Hilfeverb von Conjunctive 2 ist würden. That's the helping verb. If you use würden as a helping verb to make a sentence, it would be like in English would. Yes. For example, we'll just figure out a few sentences. And if you want to make a sentence in the past in terms of Conjunctive 2, you basically use perfect tenses to do that, to make past sentence. So in the perfect, you already know the helping verbs are haben and sein. So we would be using their conjunctive form. What is the conjunctive form? Let me just introduce you. I'll explain to you as we move forward in the lesson. So the conjunctive form is basically, you add an umlaut to the preteritum. So the preteritum is hatten. Haben becomes hatten, if you people remember, and sein becomes waren. If you add an umlaut to it, it will become your Conjunctive 2. So basically, hätten und wären would be used to make perfect sentences, and würden would be used to make present sentences and convert the sentences into Conjunctive 2. Let's quickly conjugate these helping verbs. Würden would be ich würde, du würdest, sie es würde, wir würden, ihr würdet, sie sie würden. Hätten would be ich hätte, du hättest, sie es hätte, wir hätten, ihr hättet, sie hätten. And wären would be ich wäre, du wärest, sie es wäre, wir wären, ihr wärt, sie wären. Yes. How to make the present tense sentences? Simply use würden in the first position, like you're building a condition. or depends what kind of sentence you're making. So you just need to use it in the first or second position. We'll talk about this. And the verb will come, the main verb will come in the infinitive in the last position. And if you're using perfect, if you're using past tense to make something in the past, you would make perfect sentences with hätten or wären in the first or second position, which I'll explain in a moment, and the main verb in the last. Yeah. So while making a condition, you begin with the verb in the first position like a question. So that's what I was telling about. If we are making a condition, we'll begin with the first. If we are making a normal sentence like a wish or a regret, we can have the verbs in the second position. Let's find out more by looking at some of these examples. Now, what do I have here? Unreal conditions and consequences. Genau. So we begin first with unreal conditions and consequences. Yes. For example, if I would get the apartment, I would be happy. Yes. So first we'll build a condition. So when we build a condition, we begin with the helping verb. So we begin with the verb würde. Yes, we are making it in the present tense. If I would get the apartment, I would be happy. It's in the present tense. So würde ich die Wohnung bekommen, that's the condition. Yes, we begin with würde and we put the main verb to get in the end, bekommen. Würde ich die Wohnung bekommen, yeah. Würde ich froh sein, yeah, I would be happy. Perfect. Similarly, we could say I would have been basically glad if I would have got the apartment. Now this is basically your perfect tense. So I would have been glad. The verb is been, which is like to be. The helping verb is wäre. Ich wäre froh gewesen. Yeah, wenn ich die Wohnung bekommen hätte. Yes, I would have been glad if I would have gotten the apartment. So this is a perfect sentence in which we used wären or hätten accordingly. And this was the normal sentence in which we use würde, yes, as the helping verb to make a conjunctive zwei. What is the structure? Structure is pretty straightforward. You could write like the first sentence you have here is a Nebensatz, second is a Hauptsatz, so it should be Nebensatz, and this is a Hauptsatz. Yeah, you began with the Nebensatz, würde ich die Wohnung bekommen, then you wrote the Hauptsatz, würde ich froh sein, and this is again ich wäre froh gewesen, Hauptsatz, wenn ich die Wohnung bekommen hätte. Yeah, you could also have said hätte ich die Wohnung bekommen. Yes, that would have also been like a condition. Yeah, so let's see, let me write here, hätte ich die Wohnung bekommen. Genau. So you could first like write the consequence, then the condition, or first the condition, then the consequence, doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, fantastic. What's lost? It's going here. Okay, schon besser. Now the wishes and regret are like, when you're making a wish or a regret, the difference is in the present tense it's a wish, in the past tense it's a regret, and you just add some particle words when you're making these wishes, like doch, nur, or bloß. What they mean is like just or only. Yeah, and let's see what I mean. And I already told you wishes are always in the present, regrets are always in the past. So if I would be just richer, this is like a present wish. So you will say würde ich doch reicher. You're just making a wish in the present, and you use doch just to emphasize, to make it sound like a wish. Würde ich doch reicher. Yeah, or you make a regret in the past with the help of a perfect sentence. Wäre ich doch noch achtsamer gewesen. Only if I would have been more careful. Wäre ich doch noch achtsamer gewesen. Perfect sentence. To be becomes gewesen, and the helping verb is sein. It becomes wäre. So you say wäre ich doch noch achtsamer gewesen. Yes. Okay, and then we have unreal comparisons. We use als ob, like in English, as if. So the city was as big as if it would be a state. Die Stadt war so groß, als ob sie eine Stadt gewesen wurde. Yes, so this is like just a comparison you make. Now we'll be making certain sentences in which we'll actually understand it much better, what these unreal conditions, consequences, or wishes or regrets or unreal comparisons really are. So be with me and we'll get through all of these sentences. So if I have more money, I would buy a BMW. Now this is basically an unreal condition in the present and an unreal consequence. So we'll begin with the condition. So the verb is würde. Okay, we'll begin with würde. Very good. Würde ich mehr Geld haben? This is a condition. Yes, you begin with the verb to make the condition. Würde ich mehr Geld haben? I would buy a BMW. Yes, you'll again write the main sentence. Würde ich ein BMW kaufen? Yes. So this is like you are creating a Nebensatz and a Hauptsatz. Nebensatz, first comes the verb here. It's a condition, that's why it comes the first. And the verb goes in the end, the main verb. And this is a Hauptsatz. It's like beginning with the verb. Since it's after the Nebensatz, we have learned that if the main sentence comes after the Nebensatz, the verb always begins after the comma. We treat this like the first position and this like the second position. Yes. Okay, if Corona is not there, we could travel the world. Okay, so we'll say it like, we'll begin with the verb. Würde es Corona nicht geben? Yes. Würde es Corona nicht geben? Yes. Basically, es gibt is there is, and würde es Corona nicht geben is if Corona would not be there. We would travel the world. We'll begin with würden wir die Welt reisen. Yeah. Würden wir die Welt reisen. Yes, so if Corona would not be there, we would travel the world. Yes, so we could say would not rather than is not. That will be correct. Perfect. Let me write would. Perfect. If Corona would not be there, we would travel the world. Würde es Corona nicht geben, würden wir die Welt reisen. Okay. If I would only have gotten another chance, or if I would only have got another chance, this sounds like a wish in the present tense. Or this is basically if only I would have got. This is in the past, so it's a regret. Yes. So we could begin like, all right, if only I would have got another chance. Nur, we could begin with like würde, or it'll be, let's say, I have got. So hätte ich, very good. It's a perfect sentence. Hätte ich nur noch eine Chance bekommen. Yes, if only I would have gotten another chance. It's like hätte ich nur noch eine Chance bekommen. Yeah, so this is like a regret you're making for the past. If only I would have got another chance. Hätte ich nur noch eine Chance bekommen. To make a sentence in the past, you make a perfect sentence, and that's why you begin with hätte bekommen. Yes, and why did you begin with the verb? Because it's kind of a condition, and it's like if. So it's a condition type, you begin with a verb. Okay. Only if I would not have been so lazy. Now this is again have not have been, it's in the past. It's a perfect sentence. So we'll write, we'll begin wäre, or we'll say, yeah, wäre ich nur nicht so faul gewesen. Yes. If I would not have been so lazy. This is a regret. Okay, moving forward. If there would only be a few minutes. If there would only be a few minutes. Now this is a wish. It's in the present. Yes. So we'll begin with würde es if they would only be late by a few minutes. If they would be only late by a few minutes, würde sie sich ein paar Minuten, what is to be late? Verspäten. Yes, ein paar Minuten verspäten. Würde sie sich ein paar Minuten, werde sie sich doch ein paar Minuten verspäten. Yes, what is verspäten? It's to get delayed. If they would delay themselves just by a couple of minutes, yes, then we would be ready. So würden sie sich doch ein paar Minuten verspäten. Okay. If the earth is flat, we would drop off the edge. Okay. So if the earth is flat, that's a condition and it's in the present tense. So we'll say würde. Okay, where did I come? I need to be here. Würde die Erde, what is flat? It's like, you could say eben sein. Yes. You could say würden wir, we would drop, würden wir from the edge, genau, von der Rand, von dem Rand or vom Rand, yes, vom Rand, stürzen, stürzen is to fall, stürzen, perfect. Würde die Erde eben sein, würden wir vom Rand stürzen. Genau, if the earth is flat, we would drop off the edge. Okay, if there is one country, I would not need a visa. Okay, so it's again a condition, it's in the present, and we'll begin with the verb, and we'll say würde es nur ein Land geben. If there would be only one country, I would not need a visa. Würde ich, yes, würde ich nur ein Visum brauchen. Yes, I would only require one visa. Fantastic. He acts as if he would be the captain. What is the verb to act? It's like benimmt, to behave. Benimmt, or you could say, benehmen is the better verb. You could update the verb spielen. It would be benehmen. Yeah, benehmen. Benimmt als ob it's a Nebensatz, so als ob der Kapitän, as if he would be the captain, yes? So we could say als ob der Kapitän. We could say Kapitän like this. Kapitän. Very good. Genau. Would be, we would say sein würde. Yes. Genau. Benimmt, als ob der Kapitän sein würde. Yes. As if he would be the captain. They underestimate us as if we would lose the game. Sie unterschätzen uns. Unterschätzen is one verb, it means to underestimate. Unterschätzen uns, als ob wir das Spiel verlieren würden. Verlieren würden. Fantastic, yes? Okay, so they underestimate us. This is the Hauptsatz. Then as if we would lose the game, this is the Nebensatz. So we have als ob, with which we begin, and we end the verb with main verb in the end, würden, yes? Okay, we act as if we would have so much time to treat climate change. Wir, we could say wir benehmen, could say behaving. Wir benehmen als ob, as if wir so viel Zeit haben, ja, den Klimawandel, ja, Klimawandel to handle is like, to treat is like behandeln, yes, behandeln. Fantastic, yes, hope you can see it. Make it a little bigger for you people. Vergrößere ich den Text. Wir benehmen also, wir so viel Zeit haben, den Klimawandel zu behandeln. This is a Zusatz, yes, and it's also a Nebensatz. Yeah, the main verb comes in the end. Then I add a zu structure in order to, yes. So we are behaving as if we have so much time in order to treat the climate change. Fantastic. Also the other sentences I'm making a little bigger. Kann man die doch nochmal lesen? We'll read them once more in the end, just to get an idea. Yes. Okay. Vergrößere ich alle diese Texte. Fantastisch. Ganz gut. So, yes, we'll read them once we do this one. If only we would have just taken the deal. Now, this is again in the past a regret. It's a regret based on a question like if condition. So we'll begin with a verb and it's in the past. So we'll say if only we would have. Yes. So we'll say if only we would have just taken the deal. So have just taken. So it'll be hätten. Yes, hätten wir nur, what is the deal? Den Deal genommen. Hätten wir nur den Deal genommen. Genau, that's the sentence. It's a regret from the past. So before we move forward, let's quickly read these sentences once again. The first, if I have more money, I would buy a BMW. It's an unreal condition, unreal consequence. We build a condition with the help of starting with the verb, just like a question, but we begin the conditions also with a verb in the front. So würde ich mehr Geld haben? Yes. This is like your condition. Würde ich ein BMW kaufen? I would buy a BMW. If Corona would not be there, we would travel the world. It's like again a condition and a consequence. Würde es Corona nicht geben, würde wir die Welt reisen. Perfect, there's a spelling mistake. Okay, so if I would only have got another chance, so got another chance, basically it's again in the past. So we'll say, hätte ich nur noch eine Chance bekommen. Yes? Have got. Perfect sentence in the past. Only if I would have been so, if I would not have been so lazy, again a sentence in the past. So the verb is to be, sein, and the helping verb of sein is sein itself. But in conjunctive 2, it becomes wären. So we basically build conjunctive 2 with hätten or wären. So wäre ich nur nicht so faul gewesen. If I would not have been so lazy, yeah. If they would only be late by a few minutes, yes, we would be ready. Just making up the last part. Würden sie sich doch ein paar Minuten verspäten? Yeah. It's like in the present tense, I'm making a wish. If they would just delay themselves by a few minutes. Okay. If the earth is flat, we would drop off the edge. It's a condition and a consequence in the present. So we say würde. Yes, würde die Erde eben sein. If the earth would be level, würden wir vom Rand stürzen. We would fall out from the Rand is like the edge. Yeah. If the world is one country, I would not need a visa. Würde es nur ein Land geben, würde ich nur ein Visum brauchen. Yes, again in the present tense. If there would be just one country, made a condition beginning with the verb, würde ich nur ein Visum brauchen. He acts as if he would be the captain. Now this is unreal comparison. Benimmt als ob, as if der Kapitän sein würde. Yes, so it's like in the present tense, you're making unreal comparison. Yes, and this is a Nebensatz. They underestimate us as if we would lose the game. Sie unterschätzen uns. They underestimate us as if we will lose the game, as if we lose the game, als ob wir das Spiel verlieren würden. Okay, Wir benehmen, we act as if we would have so much time to treat climate change. Wir benehmen, als ob wir so viel Zeit haben, den Klimawandel zu behandeln. Yes? So, what are we saying? Is this sentence correct or did we miss something? So, let's find out. Wir benehmen, als ob wir so viel Zeit haben würden. Okay, we forgot the main verb. Würden, den Klimawandel zu behandeln. We behave as if we would have so much time to treat climate change. So it's a sentence in the present tense. We would have so much time. So we could have said, genau, that's in the present tense, haben würden, very good. And then we have added a Umzusatz, yes, like we have learned, in order to handle climate change, den Klimawandel zu behandeln. So the verb behandeln written in infinitive. Super. So if only we had just taken the deal, it's a perfect sentence, so it's a regret, and it will be written like hätten wir nur den Deal genommen. Now these particle words like nur are very important. They make them sound like a regret. Yes, otherwise it's just like a condition. Yeah. Okay. So I hope this is a little bit clear. Es ist ganz schwierig, ich weiß. The idea of conjunctive 2 is a little elusive, but nonetheless it's understandable with a little bit more effort. So machen wir noch ein bisschen Übung. We'll be doing a little more practice. So treffen wir uns wieder im nächsten Unterricht. So till then, this is John Berlin signing off.